Okay, just a few more cabinets to go. But I really am hoping that what the takeaway is with all the videos is to show you how simplistic it really can be to keep the kitchen spaces organized. I don't have a lot of organizing products, but the way in which I set everything up by keeping only what the family uses, I know I say it a million times, but honestly, if you stick within what you know you use often and find space for it within the kitchen regardless of the size, that is the best way that you can find efficiency and function in even the smallest kitchens, is really looking at meal prep and your family's needs, and also trying to keep within the spaces that you have in order for it to really function beautifully. So if you're just starting out, the best thing that you can do that is the cheapest, zero cost, is decluttering. And once you've done that, gotten rid of all the things that you no longer use, you'd be surprised to see how much valuable space that you have gained, especially when it comes to food. So speaking of food, I'm going to show you what I have in my cabinets and how that food has been organized. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, you might have seen a little bit of a different setup, meaning I might have had some slightly different products in here, but this was mainly my tea cabinet, coffee cabinet. Coffee, the consumption of that has gone to basically zero, so that's no longer in here. I used to have flour in here as well. Baking has kind of gone down to a minimum. Plus, I had to do a slight tweak, so removing again the things that we no longer consume, only keeping the things that we know that we do use often. So I do use the brown sugar. We bake with that quite often, and behind there is some peanut butter. I love that. And honey, I use that often as well. Sometimes in teas, sometimes without, sometimes in cereal, sometimes without. So it still gets used, as well as the teas down below. So again, this would have been mainly my tea, coffee cabinet, but now I can store more supplements because that has changed. I now have introduced more vitamins and supplements into my diet. So that being at the top there in a bin that I can easily pull down when I need it, as well as some of the sweeteners. Other than the bin up top, there is no other organizing product here. Just what you see in the containers, and I can easily pull out what's in front to get in behind. So easily maintainable. I keep mentioning I have narrow cabinets. I have narrow cabinets. As you can see, these are not big jars at all. These are fairly small. So with it being narrow, even the thought of having a 9-inch turntable, the turntable could fit, but these products cannot. So in my case, 9-inch turntable is the smallest turntable. It would be cute if I could spin it around and get access to everything, but I have to work within the space, and it doesn't work based on the size of what I need to contain. So this sizing works well for me. And again, it's really not a concern to pull out any number of these containers to get to the one in behind, or get to that one in behind as well. Not that difficult. So what has changed in here, again, if you've been following my videos, Instagram, I have changed the organizing system for the spices. They were a 2-tier shelf organizer. I have increased the size of the spice bottle, so I went up to a larger size for all of them. And I found that getting in behind, especially going on the very top tier, that it was hard to get access to the items in the back. I'm not able to adjust my shelves much more than what you see here, so that was not going to be the solution. The best solution in this instance was to use a turntable. so that I can spin around the spices and get access to each one of them. If I need to get to the ones in the center, I could easily get those. And the way I've organized it, these are my primary spices. So the ones I use often, with the next ones, the secondary spices up top. And then I have my baking, which is also separate. So I can pull down the top bin and get access to cinnamon and some of the flavored essences, and yeah, that ketchup seasoning there, yeah, not mine, but it ends up there all the time. And you know what? It's it's okay. It's okay. You know, at least that person in the family knows it should be with the spices, I guess, ish. But it's convenient for them, and there's a little bit of room for it to stay there, so I'm not going to be mad at it. But otherwise, this functions a lot better because, again, I went to taller spice bottles, and this is a lot easier to access by having them in the turntables and a bin up top. And now I am using the cabinet above the microwave, so that's where the vent is as well. And I have had zero issues with using that area. These are the items that fit up here perfectly, and I get to utilize the space. Biggest thing that really has changed is the labels. I have updated the labels. So if you've noticed, again, going back to previous posts, they might have looked a lot different. Well, I went with more of a minimalist looking label, but otherwise I haven't changed really anything in here. Mostly the, I think the psyllium husk and the flaxseed meal have been new additions, and we use them often. So I know that there might be some concerns with heat. We have no concerns, so you may want to just examine the areas of your kitchen to see whether or not there's high humidity or heat before you put any food up there. But otherwise, it's been working for us beautifully, and it's so wonderful to be able to utilize the space above the microwave hood range. And the only bottle that is in behind the oat flakes is bran flakes. So all I have to do is remove that bottle to get to the one behind. Otherwise, these ones are all in like a single file. So I get to use the space up top. It's convenient. I can reach it, but if I couldn't, that's what stools are for, or step ladders. Otherwise, if you have space and it's vented properly and you have no concern, use it like I have.